Your student workbook should be turned to page 60. Maria, what does it say at the top of page 60? What lesson or what are we doing today?
A story of units.
Keep going. Lesson what?
Oh, lesson
Be a good,
11.
follow it the whole way across.
Lesson 11 homework.
Lesson 11 homework. So if you were someone who came to school on Tuesday, we talked about this yesterday also, what should be on your Post-it note of items to do today? What was the first thing to do on Schoology? Who knows? Who's going to get the gold star for today? Riley?
Lesson 11 homework.
Okay, so I'm going to actually, in the chat, I'm going to go to everyone. We're going to do everyone. Only wants to send to Brian. Send chat to. Oh, I know. Host only. I guess I can't send to everyone. Shucks. Okay. We're going to do whiteboard share. You guys can see my whiteboard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to stretch this out.
Yes.
So we have number 1 is lesson 11 homework. What else is on your list on Schoology today? Tyler, what's the second thing?
Math accelerator.
No. Don't guess. You should don't guess. You should be looking at your Schoology. So I see any hands. Ilea, what's the next thing to do today?
Watch the rounding video and do the rounding quiz.
Great job. There's a rounding video and quiz. And then there's
Miss
one more
Churchill.
thing. Yeah.
I looked on the rounding quiz just for a little bit to just take a sneak peek, see what we're doing. And on the first one, it said like round to the and there was like no number there. Like
the very first thing is a chart. It says write the place value words. So you have to say if it's the tens place, the hundreds, you're writing that word. You're going to tell what place value it is. So you're going to use words like ones, tens, hundreds, millions, quadrillions, whichever. My suggestion would be to start in the smallest and work your way up. I'm glad you got on and took a peek, Maria. That's exactly what you should be doing. Okay, there's one more thing for today. Show me a hand. Who knows? One more item. Peyton.
Facts practice.
Thank you. So these are your 3 jobs today. If you were in school, this is what your Post-it note would say. I'll tell you, a lot of kids got through all 3 things today. Okay, so now I want to go to my ladybug. Now, can you see my, oh, nope. Can you see my math book now?
No.
Or do you still see the whiteboard?
the whiteboard.
Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to reshare. Now, can you see my workbook?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. It's weird now being back at school. I got to learn how to use all this stuff all over again. Okay, so we're going to, excuse me?
What book is it?
Your student workbook. The book we use every single day. Okay, so Soren, go ahead and read the directions, please.
Solve the following equations using
expressions
using the standard algorithm, the partial products method, and the area model.
Okay, so those are the directions, but since you're coming to class, you know, sometimes I switch things up. We have letter A, B, and C. We're going to use one method for each of these together. So Ilea, for letter A, do you want us to use standard, partial products, or the area model? You pick.
Standard.
Okay, so I'm gonna put T for traditional. Tessa, what do you want to use for letter B? Partial products or area?
Partial products.
Okay, so by letter B, you're gonna put 2 capital P's for partial products, which leaves us with the area model for C. Okay, so let's go back to number 1. And we've already decided that we're gonna use the traditional method. So Sophia, how do I get set up for the traditional method?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Sorry, then my headphones aren't working. 302, you're gonna write 300 and 302 times 8.
Okay, we're gonna rewrite our problem going vertically up and down. Okay, Bella Watkins, go ahead and unmute yourself. Tell me how I would solve this problem.
You do 2 times 8 equals 16. So you put down the 6 and you carry the 1. And then 8 times 0 equals 0. So you add, and then you add the 1 and you get 1. And then 8 times 3 is 24.
Good job. Bella, you've been like a multiplication rock star. You really caught on to these methods well. Can you read the final answer for us, please?
2,416.
Very good.
Dummy.
Nice job. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to letter B. Julian Pletcher, what method do you remember are we using for letter B?
Partial product,
So how do I get set up for partial product?
you do 216 times 5, and then you put that the work bar down.
Okay, so I need to rewrite it going vertically. And then you said the magic word, put the work bar. Carson, after I have my work bar down, how do I start multiplying using partial products?
6 times 5
And you
equals
know what, Carson, I'm going to start with the 5 just so we use it every time, okay? So 5 times 6.
equals 30.
Then what?
5 times 10 equals 50.
Yep, and
And
next.
5 times 200 equals 1,000.
Great job. Okay, so Carson, I've done all of my multiplying. Am I finished?
No,
What do I need to do?
put them all in the square box.
So Carson, what would you say is the most important part about rewriting these numbers?
Keep them in a straight line.
Keep your place values lined up, because if you have 30 the whole way over here, it's going to affect your answer. Now we're going to add all of these. So Carson, 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals
0.
3 plus 5 plus 0.
8.
Soren, are you getting this written down? All right. 0 plus nothing.
0.
1 plus nothing.
1.
For a final answer of
1,080.
very good. Nice job. You guys are catching on, which is good because next week, you know what we're getting into? Big, long, multi-step story problems. Okay, Maria, are you ready to help me with the area model? Okay, so Maria, when we have the area model, I know I'm going to be using a square over here. What's the first thing I need to do with my equation if I'm using the area model? What do I have to break up?
You have to break up 593.
And I'm going to put that, do you remember what form that is when you stretch it out and break it up by place value?
Expanded form.
Okay, how do I write 593 using expanded form?
Put the 500 down and then
So this
then,
is worth 500.
And then
what's
put the 90
value of
down.
okay, but I don't just want to, what do I need? What's important? What goes in between these two values if we're putting them in expanded form?
An addition sign.
Yep. Okay, and then what's the value of this 3?
3.
Good. So now, Maria, I'm going to take this and I'm going to insert it into my area model. Can you tell me where these numbers go?
You put the 500 in the biggest square. Well, not in it, like
On top?
on top of it. And you put the 90 on top of the other square.
So I'm
And
going
you
to
put
put
the
the
3 on top of it.
500 is the biggest, so it gets the biggest square. 90 is the second biggest, so it gets the second biggest. And then the last one?
You put it in the last square. Well, like
What number?
on top of the last square. 3.
Very good. Zoe, is my area model ready to start multiplying?
Yeah.
Look closely, we're forgetting something. 'Cause
Or
remember,
no.
this is used just like a multiplication chart. So look, I have a length, but I'm missing my what?
Your
Remember, to find area, to find area, we do length times what?
width.
So here's my length, I'm missing my what?
You're missing your length times width.
No, I have my length. My length is 500 plus 90 plus 3.
You're missing your width.
Okay, so look back, Zoe, at this original problem. What is the measurement, or what's the number that we're going to label the width with? Noah, are you watching? Are you writing this down? So how should I label this side, Zoe?
You should label it 500.
I already put 593 on top. Here's my original problem. What do I still have left to add?
You still have
I've already used 593 by expanding it and putting it at the top. Look at your original equation. What's left to label my width with?
You're supposed to label your width with your
Come on, look at the problem. What's left here? What didn't we use yet?
the 9.
9. There you go. Colin, do you remember how to use a multiplication chart? Like that big thing with all the squares to help us multiply?
Yeah, you find one factor, then you find the other, then look what they meet.
Right, so we look at the top row to find one factor. We look on the side and then we drag our fingers to show where they meet. So now, Colin, if I go from this factor and this factor, what would I be solving in this box?
What 500 times 9 is.
Okay, so I have 9 times 500. That's what you're writing in the box. Go ahead and tell me how to solve.
You take off both your zeros and put it in the answer. Then 9 times 5 is 45, so 45,000.
Did you say 45,000?
4,500 or 4,500.
Very good. Okay, Colin, calling someone to do the next box. Someone we haven't heard from yet today. Noah, I can't see you. Pull your computer down, please. Pull your screen down the top. There you go. There's that face. Come on, sit on your bottom, please. Let's sit up. That's probably why I can't see you. You're laying down. Let's get on your bottom. There you go. Now you look ready to learn. Okay, Finn, what do I do in this box if I'm bringing down from my 90 and over from 9?
90 times 9.
9 times 90. Tell me how to solve, please.
Cross out the 0. Put it in your answer. 9 times 9 equals 81.
Very good. Calling someone else that we haven't heard to do the last box.
Julian.
Okay, Julian, what do I? Yep.
Okay. You do 9 times 3 equals 27.
Okay. So I brought my 9 from here, 3 down. Okay, Olivia, am I all finished? I feel like I've done a lot of work, but I don't have an answer. What is 593 times 9? What do I do to get an answer?
We need to add 4,500, 810 plus 270. 227, not 270.
Okay, so now, Olivia, we're taking our 4,500, 810, 27. I rewrote them, lining them up. Go ahead and add up my ones, please.
7, 0
My
plus
10.
0 plus 7 equals 7.
Good.
30. Wait, right? No.
Just a 3, because remember, we're just doing traditional addition. 0 plus 1 plus 2 is 3. How about 5 plus 8?
5 carries a 1.
Now try that again. 8 plus 5. Start at 8 and count up 5 more. Olivia, start at 8 and count up for me. Go. 9.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
So what's 5 plus 8?
13.
Put down my what?
The 3. Wait, no. Yeah. No.
Yep.
Right.
What happened to my 1 from 13? What do I do with it? I put down my 3 and I carry the 1. What's 1 plus? Noah, I haven't seen you write anything down. 1 plus 4?
5.
For a final answer of?
5,337.
Very good. So we've warmed up by doing 3 problems, 3 different ways. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the next page. And now we're going to apply these skills to some problems. So we're going to look at number 2. I want you to read the directions for number 2 on your own. Raise your hand when you know how we're going to solve this problem. When you know which method we're going to use.
Can we turn the page? Is that what we do?
Sophia?
I'm not like I'm so
Partial products.
How do you know, Sophia, that we have to use partial products?
Because in the directions it says solve using the partial products method.
Very good. And guess what? Earlier, I read this problem to the class, the kids that are here. And then we read through this, took some notes, and then I said, okay, how do you guys want to solve it? They had to remind me, look back at the directions. We have to use partial products. Okay, let's see. I haven't heard from Izzy. Why don't you read for us?
Yes.
Go ahead, honey.
Okay.
On Monday.
On Monday, 475 people visited the museum.
On Saturday, there are 4 times as many visitors as there were on a Monday. How many people visited the museum on Saturday?
Okay, Izzy, tell me what I should highlight or underline. What's important here?
On Monday, 475 people visited the museum.
Okay, so I'm going to do Monday. We want to do the least amount of highlighting, just the important stuff. So Monday, 475 people visit. What happened on Saturday?
There were 4 times as many visitors as there were on Monday.
Okay, so 4 times as many visitors as Monday. And then we need to figure out how many people visited Saturday. So our job is, what do we need to report to at the very end?
How many people visited the museum on Saturday?
So Izzy, if you look at the problem, can you just read through that and find a number of how many people were there on Saturday?
4 times as many visitors.
So, but does it give you an actual number?
No.
No, this is what I love about math. This is what makes me a math geek. This is the stuff that gets me like really excited. So it's like solving a puzzle or a problem. They give us some information and we need to figure out what we can use. So let's take some notes. Noah, what do we know about Monday? Noah, what do we know about Monday? Unmute, come on. What do we know about Monday?
The 475 people voted.
Visited. Not voted. Visited. Okay, Noah, what do we know about Saturday?
I forgot to.
Saturday.
Like I got both of them.
3 others were.
Look at what we highlighted. We've read through this and we went back and highlighted it. So now
Saturday, Saturday, there were 4 times as many visitors as there were on Monday.
Okay, so Noah, if there were 4 times as many on Saturday than Monday, what would we do to figure out how many people were there on Saturday?
You have to put the numbers down.
Tell me, what are they?
You have to not add them, subtract them.
No, there's 475 people there Monday. There are 4 times as many people on Saturday. So are there more people there Monday or Saturday?
There are more people than Saturday.
There's more people Saturday. There's 4 times as many. So what would I do to figure out how many people are there Saturday?
You have to put both numbers down and then
tell me, be specific. Don't what numbers? What do I do to solve?
Well, we don't really know what the numbers are yet.
Yeah, we do. We know that on Saturday there's 4 times as many as Monday. You have to use that information.
So you have to do 475 times 4.
There you go. Okay, so we need to figure out 475 times 4. Briley with the B, go ahead and unmute yourself. We have to use the partial products method. So over here, I'm going to rewrite my problem and draw my work bar. When you're ready, I want you to tell me the first step when using partial products. Nice and loud, talk real loud into the microphone.
You'll put 4 times 5, and that equals 20.
Yep. What happens next?
You'll put 20 down in your answer.
Okay. And then
4 times 70. Cross out the 0 and put it in your answer. And 4 times 7 is 28.
okay. Now what?
Then put 280 in your answer.
Brian, are you writing this down? Okay, Briley, what's next?
Cross off the zeros.
Oh, I got to write something down first. I don't have any zeros to cross off.
Put 4 times 400.
Now I can cross off my 2 zeros. With 4 times 4.
Which is 16.
Okay, so I'm going to write 1,600 over here. That's my next step.
Put it, add them all together.
Okay, what's 0 plus 0 plus 0?
0.
2 plus 8 plus 0?
10.
So put down my 0, carry my 1. 1 plus 2?
8.
No, 1 plus 2
3.
plus 6?
9.
1 plus nothing?
1.
Okay, Bradley, what's my final answer?
1,900.
Final answer is what? Briley, final answer.
1,900.
Huh?
1,500 visitors.
There you go. That's what I thought you said. 1,900 visitors. If you have 1,900, you're going to get minus a point because I don't see or hear a label. Okay, now number 3. We go back to an oldie, but a goodie, something we haven't done in a long time. Tanya, read number 3.
Model with a tape diagram and solve. 6
Okay.
times as much as 384.
Okay, so it's probably been a while since you've seen a tape diagram. So we need to figure out what 6 times as much as 384 is. So I'm going to write one box. Here's my one piece of tape, and I'm going to put 384 in that box. Tanya, what can I do below here to show 6 times as much as 384? How many boxes of 384 do I need to show 6 times as much as 384?
6.
Okay, so underneath, I'm going to draw a big one. And so I have 1 times 384, 2 times 384, 3 times 384, 4 times 384, 5 times 384, and 6 times 384. I have 6 now. And if I put these all together, remember our curly brackets? We used to do these the first week of school. The curly bracket shows that we need to find the total. Nina, what would I do to find? I'll give you guys a minute to draw. I know that's a big drawing. If you are not Nina, please make sure you mute yourself. And Nina, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
What was the question?
I want you to tell me how we're going to figure out what the total of all 6 of those 384s is.
You go to the side and you can like you can write you can write 384 times 6.
Okay, what method would you like to use to solve?
Partial product. Wait,
Okay.
I mean, the standard. Wait.
Okay.
The old-fashioned way, like the.
Okay, yep, the traditional, sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Zoe, you following along? You still writing everything down? Okay. All right, Nina, tell me how to solve this using the standard method, old-fashioned.
6 times 4, which equals 24, and so you put down your 4 and carry your 2. Then you do 6 times 8, which equals 84.
Now try that one again. There you go.
And so you put down your.
Don't forget your 2. 6 times 8 equals 48. Then what do you do with the 2 that we carried?
You add it to your answer, and so you put down a 0 and carry your 5. And so then you do 3 times 6, which equals 18, but you add your 5, and so 18 plus 5 equals 23. So you put down your 3. Well, then you put down 23.
So Nina, how big or what number is 6 times as much as 384?
2,304.
Good. So we're going to go ahead and label your tape diagram underneath the curly bracket with that big number, 2,304. All right, we're going to do something different for this last one. This number 4 says solve using the standard algorithm, the area model, the distributive property, or the partial products method. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 methods to share. So instead of doing all 4 of them, we're going to get into a breakout group. Your breakout group will only use 1 method to solve. So we're going to have 4 groups. Let's see how big our groups would be. 5 to 6 people per group. You're only using the method that I tell you to use, okay? So room 1, if I call your name, circle standard algorithm, because these people are solving using the standard algorithm. Izzy, Maria, Olivia, Peyton, Soren, Tyler. These people circle number 2, area model. Bella, Carson, Julian, Sophia, Tanya, Tessa. These people in number 3 circle distributive property. And I'm going to join that group to help you guys since we don't have a ton of experience with that one. Number 3 is going to be Briley, Brian, Nina, Noah, and Riley. Noah, sit up. Number 4, this is going to be the partial products group. Colin, Ilea, Sarah, and Zoe. And Piper, since you're in that group, if you want to guide them and help them at all, feel free to make sure they're on the right track. Okay, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself. If you don't, go ahead and go to your room.
What page are we on?
Tyler, we're on page 61, and we've been on page 61 for numbers 2 and 3. So I would appreciate it if you followed along, please. Noah, is there a reason why you're laying down again? I had a discussion with your mom yesterday, and I told her that you were actually really good paying attention this week. This isn't showing that. Sit up. You're not sleeping. This isn't nap time. This is school. Take the blanket off. Take the blanket off. We need to pretend like we're in school, or else that's whenever we start to fall asleep and not pay attention. Okay, we have everyone here? All right, so who remembers what strategy or what method are we using? You can just unmute yourself.
Got the answer.
Distributive property.
Okay, so I wonder, can you guys see my paper?
Yeah.
When you look at this problem, Riley, what number is the number that we're going to be distributing to the other numbers?
6,253.
No?
Oh,
We're not
3?
gonna, yeah, so we're going to start with 3 times, and then we're going to break this up into standard form. Noah, what's the value of this 6?
Hey, y'all see? It goes to
Noah, what's the value of this 6?
65, then it goes to 83.
How
much is it worth?
Thousands.
We did have some.
There's
We
6
did
of them.
take this
What's
out.
the value of the 6?
No, please. Okay.
6,000.
So in parentheses, we're going to put
Hold
3
up. Wait a minute.
times 6,000. Okay, Briley with a B. Now we're going to add to that 3 times the value of the 2. What's the value of the 2?
200.
Unmute yourself.
200.
level.
200.
Okay.
Okay, then we're going to add to that the value of the 5. Nina, what's the value of the 5?
50.
So we're going to do 3 times 50. And then who else do we have in here? Riley, Noah. Brian, since you can do this one, just showing your fingers, we're going to multiply 3 times, what's the value of this 3? You don't have volume, use your hands. What's the value of this 3? Hold your hands back so I can see. Not 10. What? This is in the ones place. There's 3 of them. So what's the value of 3 ones? There you go. So our last equation is 3 times 3. Okay, so now Briley with a B. Tell me what I would do to solve 3 times 6,000.
Cross off the 3 zeros.
Uh-huh. Put them in my answer. What's 3 times 6? Just leave yourself unmuted because it takes longer to keep unmuting yourself.
18.
Very good. Okay, let's have Riley do the next one. 3 times 200.
Cross off both your zeros and put them in your answer.
3 times 2.
6.
Okay, Noah, 3 times 50. How many zeros do I cross off?
4.
No, there aren't 4 zeros.
3, 0, and 1.
Read this equation for me.
3 times 50.
How many zeros are in that equation?
1.
So I'm going to cross that off and put in my answer. I'm left with what basic fact?
3 times 5.
What is 3 times 5? Remember, you can do 5, 5, 5. Count by fives 3 times.
15.
Good. Okay, Brian, show me with your fingers what's 3 times 3. You have to lean back for this one. I counted 9. Good job. So now I need to take all of these and I'm going to rewrite them, lining up all my values so I can add them up. Noah, did you write this down already? All right, good job. Okay, Nina, add up my ones for me with 0 plus 0 plus 9.
9.
0 plus 0 plus 5.
5.
0 plus 6 plus 1.
7.
8 plus nothing.
8.
1 plus nothing.
1.
For a final answer of?
18,759.
Okay, Nina, do you want to be our you don't have to explain, you're just going to give the final answer with the whole group. Okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Ms. Shevchik. Finn told me that he got kicked from the meeting.
He can just get back on.
Okay.
There's no waiting room. It's just open. Okay, can I have someone from group 1 tell me what you got for your answer? Izzy?
For our answer, we got 18,759.
If you were in the area model, who would like to tell me what you got for your answer?
We
Sophia?
got
18,759.
How about the distributive property? I think that was Nina.
Yeah. The answer is 18,759.
And how about the partial products method? Colin?
18,759.
What'd you guys notice? Everyone just said what? Now, Bella, what did you notice?
18,759.
Bella, what did you notice about everyone's answers?
That we got the same numbers.
We all 4 different ways, and we all got the same answer. So give yourself either a pat on the back or a round of applause. Great job. Okay, so those are the ones that we're going to do. You do not have to do page 62. You only are going to do the ones that we just did for practice. So you're not finished for today. Now what we need to do is, if you haven't watched your rounding video yet, you're going to get on your Schoology and watch the video. It's just a little review. It's about 5.5 minutes, I think. And then you're going to click the button and you have a rounding quiz to take and submit. Remember, you should be solving your rounding problems on scratch paper first, then submitting them. So remember, if I see you're having trouble, maybe you didn't do very well, I'm going to message someone at home and say, send me a picture of so-and-so scratch paper. If you don't have paper for me to send, then 1, you didn't follow directions, and you're going to have to start over. So you want to have that and save it, put it in your math folder, just in case I ask for it. Then I can help find your mistakes and help try to guide you to the right answer. Okay, do you have any questions? And you do have fact practice today. If you were in school yesterday, remember you can get on extra math. I've already gotten some certificates ready to print out and give to you when you come back. If you're a fully at-home learner, I'll be meeting with you guys to show you how to get on extra math soon, probably tomorrow. Okay, I want to make sure that I know how to show you on the computer if you're not in front of me before I bring you together. All right, so you guys have any questions for me? You sure? Give me a thumbs up if you feel good about this multiplication. Yeah, you guys are doing well. Okay, if you don't have any questions, I want you to go ahead